Welcome to our podcasts, Wise Black Nana's Life Coaching Between the Dash. Hey, what do you do when it feels like life has thrown you a few too many challenges, knocked you down, in the bed, hard to talk about even with your best friend challenges, and it feels like the challenges are winning? Wouldn't it be nice to hear from your Nana? Or a stand-in Wise Black Nana? Well, they are Wise Black Nanas, Sharla Walker, PhD, and Joanne Early, MS, two mature women with over 70 plus years of combined coaching and mentoring, professional human resources, and business experience. The wonderful news is, these Wise Black Nanas are still living and learning about this amazing life, about resilience and grit, gratitude and appreciation, and the extraordinary power of love and friendships, being positive and supportive, and learning from others. Welcome to Wise Black Nanas. Let's listen in.
Hi, this is Dr. Sharla Walker, PhD. I'm one of the Wise Black Nana team, and we thought we'd just take a little time to just kind of run through the forest partially naked and
I
partially
don't know
naked.
about that.
Partially naked, wouldn't say what part, just to think about and reflect on things that make us laugh out loud or internally or, make us just feel joy. Also, I think feeling joy also feeds into our well-being and makes us feel so good, whether it's business related or personal related. But we really wanted to focus on things that internally, which probably is more family oriented, and just step back, take a breath, and just look around us and just have a good laugh. We haven't had a good laugh in a long time. And even come with this topic, trying to figure out, what was funny? What gave me joy? What gave me the sense that I do have value, that I do have worth that somebody will listen to? So, as we have been inspired to do, is to give you just some thoughts from what 70 plus years of experience has shown us, taught us, and probably we will experience more. So, on that note, I give you Joanne.
Okay, Dr. Charlotte. So, hi, I'm Joanne. Now, I don't know about running through the forest. I really don't. I really don't.
Oh,
Uh,
laugh a little, laugh a little.
just live a little bit, maybe not quite to that degree. Anyway, hello, everybody. Again, I'm the other co-host of Wise Black Nanas, and we really want to thank you for listening in. So our episode this time is certainly just talking about some of those lived experiences that we've had that's made us kind of laugh out loud. As Dr. Charlotte said, it could be about things we've done or things we've observed or seen, funny movies or books or funny characters that live on with us and give us. Heck, if just for what, a short period of time, we laugh, and just for that quick little period of time, we're not thinking about all the stuff, all the craziness, all the chaos, all the stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's going on today. We're just asking everybody to just take a break, take a break, think back about something funny that you can laugh out loud about or laugh inside about and just walk away from it. Step away from our everyday lives for just a few seconds or just a few minutes, just for fun. That's what we're calling this episode. And we're gonna not focus so much on, our obligations or the things that we have to do. We're just gonna laugh it up for a minute. Just laugh it up for a minute. Because you know what? That stuff's going to be there anyway. So let's give ourselves a nice little just for fun vacation for just a few seconds, a few minutes, and go from there. So we're going to talk about some things that might be suggestions. And even in talking about doing this this program. Dr. Sharla and I had a lot of laughs. Some we won't share because they are highly of a personal nature, so we will not share those. But some we will share with you, and we hope that you will be able to travel along with us as we, walk through the just for fun aisles and picking up things that we thought we would share with you.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I this was a kind of a different subject to think about after 70 plus years of, what
Oh,
was fun.
okay, Dr. Sherrill, let's knock off the 70 plus years.
But
Let,
I
let,
was trying to, trying to mix it up and just kind of think about, what has happened during, my actual experiences that I can remember.
that were just for
Getting
fun, right?
just yeah, just for
Uh,
fun. Well, I had a lot of fun in high
that you
school,
can
but I
talk
won't go
about.
into detail.
Right, right.
Had lots of fun. But the one thing that I think that I was in high school that I can remember and really good was that having a high school swim party at school.
Yeah.
And we're all, this was in the early 70s, and two pieces were the it thing to have at that time. And everybody's going around, all the girls anywhere going around and strutting their stuff and
And your
trying to be
two-piece
cool,
swimsuit.
huh?
And your
And
two-piece
two-piece
swim.
swimsuit and new flowered swim caps, because you couldn't get your hair wet. If you got
No,
your
no,
hair wet,
no.
those of you who are familiar with the press and curl had to do it that night, and that took a long time. And it's not really a nice odor anyway when you get your press and curl. So we're all sitting around the pool, having a good time, music, the 70s music, and we're just bumping and just having a good time. So it was time for everybody to get in the pool. So of course, I decided that I'm going to jump off the diving board, which I've never done before in my life, and I don't know why. But being cute or thinking I'm cute, so I decided I would dive off the diving board because I would get the attention of the band leader, who was the whatever they call the leader of the band, who had the big thing that goes up and
Oh, the
down.
drum major.
Drum
Ooh.
major. He
Oh,
was so
yeah.
fine. Oh, he
Oh.
was so fine.
Yeah, there's a drum
And
major probably in a lot of our memories.
yes, yes, yes. And so I dove off the diving board and I went in the water, and I was coming back up, and then my cousin, he dove into the water right when I was coming up, and he pushed me back down into the water. And I go, what is, not nice words, are you doing? And he said, look around your neck. My top of my swimsuit was around my neck. So after being a little embarrassed, we all, I mean, like 60 people, we're all laughing and having a good time. And I wasn't really embarrassed because it was like people who were my peers who kind of
Yeah.
understood what it was all about, and
Yep, yep,
it
yep.
was it was really fun. But I can say I did pull the guy. I did pull the guy. It was for a short time, but I did pull the guy. So I
All
don't know if
right.
I don't know if the swimsuit coming up was an issue. But I laughed, and I just thought about that when we were discussing how what made us laugh. And I think that was not only there was joy in it, that it was everybody was together. Nobody, said anything bad. It was just we continued to have a good time
Yeah.
afterwards.
Right.
So,
Right. And
so
look how that stayed in your memory. Now I'm sure at the moment it was happening, it was mortifying, or you were like, OMG, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah.
But look, it stayed with you. It stayed with you as a funny memory. And I remember when you were talking about it initially and sharing that with me, how much you laughed um, from the memory. And that's what we, kind of want our listeners to do. Go back in your memory, think about, something and it could have been embarrassing, a little embarrassing at the time, but it made you laugh with such joy and laugh deep, deep inside and just takes you away if just for a short period of time, kind of takes you away from all the chaos and misinformation and just craziness, that's going on and impacting our lives every day.
Mhm. I
So,
think what made
yeah.
it also is that the community or the high school community is that everybody was said, "Hey, it's okay. Things happen, and we'll
Yeah,
just laugh
yeah,
some more, ate some
yeah,
more, dance
yeah,
some more,"
yeah,
and then it was another day.
yeah,
Another day
yeah,
for something else to
yeah,
happen. It was a competition with, who could wear the shortest dress
yeah.
in high school. In our class, and I didn't win, but I was up there, and that means short is dress where you can bend over. So, but
Ooh,
I think those are just the kind of things that make high school fun
yes, yeah.
and make you like, I
And
gotta do
create
something
those,
different.
yeah,
Yeah,
create those funny memories. You don't know you're storing them to revisit them years and years and years later, but you do. And
yeah,
and it's fun to
yeah.
do that, you know.
Yeah, so that's a pleasant memory to re-remember.
Yep,
I
yep,
laugh. I
yep.
went back to my yearbook and looked at the photos
Yeah,
from that event.
right.
It was really weird to see to see the pictures from that time. So.
Yes, and I'm sure what was considered very risque at that particular time.
They weren't that bad. They weren't as bad as they are today.
Yes, yes, not
Maybe for that time, but they were. I mean, they weren't. They didn't really show that much
yeah, not as
compared to what they
revealing.
show today. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. That story kind of reminded me of, a story that everybody in my family has probably heard. That was one of my most embarrassing yet funny memories is the time I walked out of my skirt. I re, um,
Walked out your skirt.
yeah, it was during those times when the wraparound skirt was, a new fashion creation. And so I had a wraparound skirt that I was one of my favorite things to wear. And I guess it was the morning I was running late or something and didn't secure it tight enough. So I was hurry up, parked my car and was, walking to my office where I worked. And this guy kept trying to get my attention. Lady, hey, lady, hey, lady. And so I'm thinking, oh God, somebody's just, trying to get my attention or to get to, trying to get my phone number or something like that. And I wasn't at all interested. So he kept, lady, hey, and so finally I noticed there were a couple of people and they were kind of pointing pointing at me and I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? So I turn around and this guy has my skirt in his hand and and I looked down and I absolutely, thank goodness, had on a short slip. That was during the days when part of our undergarments, we wore slips. So I had on a short slip, and otherwise I would have been in my underwear. So the guy said, lady, you dropped your skirt. And so I couldn't do anything but just thank him and laugh out loud because I was not only just mortified beyond embarrassment. But I was just, what else can you do when a stranger has grabbed your skirt because you walked out of it? So I hurried up and, tied it back on and thanked him and then went on my way. But I tell you, that taught me that I have to make sure that whenever I wear that wrap skirt, that one, I continue to wear a slip, and two, that it was tied securely. So, many of my family members have heard that story, and of course, it's been embellished a little over the years. but that was kind of one of my funniest, wardrobe, I guess, malfunctions that I
Well,
can
you're lucky
laugh about.
that he even paid attention and brought it to your attention. These days,
Yeah,
people just let you look at you and they keep on walking.
I guess that's
So
true,
that's
huh?
a good memory. They
Yeah.
was pointed at you and just let you go on your way.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. Different times, and maybe he recognized me. I don't know, because I didn't really even have any conversation with him. I just thanked him, and he could probably see I was so embarrassed, And then of course I said, "Hey, it happens," and kind of started laughing. So he might have thought I was out of it a little bit, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to turn this into a funny moment. But it has remained a funny time, for me, you know. One of the other, when I think about something that makes me laugh or whatever, I think about those old I Love Lucy movies.
oh yeah.
And especially, there's a couple that just always make me just laugh crazily. I mean, like a crazy person. It's when she worked in the candy factory. Because I love chocolates and am just, anywhere there's a chocolate, it's not safe around me. And there is this one show where her and Ethel worked in the candy factory. And so the conveyor belt that brought the chocolates down for them to put in the boxes started coming too fast. And so
Uh-huh.
she couldn't keep up. So she was trying to eat the chocolates. She started stuffing them in her blouse. And I just couldn't help but think that would have been me because I would probably try to eat all the chocolates that I couldn't get in a box. So it's just a really, really funny I Love Lucy episode, and it's just one that's, again, can make me laugh like I've never seen it before, like I'm watching it for the first time. And then the other one is when she was stomping the wine, the grapes.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
She got into a fight, I think, with another person that was also stomping the grapes. And so they just ended up with grapes all over them. And I'm thinking, oh goodness, I don't know if I'd want to drink that wine, but anyway, that was also a funny, funny episode. And then I know that a lot of people don't care for the Medea movies, but I tell you, even though I think to a large degree a lot of them are politically incorrect, um, but they are so funny. I tell you, you just can't help but laugh out loud because some of the things that are said in the movies or whatever are just so spot on until it's like, okay, yeah, that happens in my family. Yes, absolutely, it does. So just
Yeah.
kind of a shout out to the Medea movies that are just funnier than all get out. So there are other ones that, again, whenever I watch them, have just made me laugh out aloud.
Yeah. I think the Madea movies, even though sometimes they need a lot, but there's a theme
Politically
or
incorrect.
there's something that hits home about
Yes,
a theme about
yes,
a family. It's
yes,
always I think family related and stuff like that. So I think that's the part that I like. I know that it's kind of crazy, kind of stupid, but I do look for the theme because you can kind of look back at your
yes,
family or
right,
your life and like,
right,
oh, that
right.
happened. So I I'm sure lots of folks would disagree with me, but I look at it for what is the meaning of this because it does come out at the end.
Yes.
So
Yeah, there is usually something that we could say, aha, okay, let's consider this, or yeah, we've got a similar situation kind of going on. But I have to say, I love it for all the just raw laughter and gut-wrenching, just roll on the floor, kind of things that either Medea says or does. It's just hilarious. You think, okay, that's Uncle so and so, that's Auntie so and so, or that's Grandma so and so right there.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a quick memory, kind of a quick memory of that.
There's the hint of truth in some what the characters needed
Mm-hmm. Yep.
at the end. May not
Yep.
be all the way,
Yep.
but there is some truth in what's being told, and
Yep.
that's important.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Another thing that I think about sometimes when I'm trying to think, okay, so, I find experiences that you have when you're traveling just sometimes can be gut-wrenchingly funny and will cause you to just stop and just kind of laugh at yourself, when you either find yourself in a different situation and it's just, you have to just stop and laugh at yourself because of something that's happened or something you've observed or seen, or maybe you're afraid to take a chance to go over that bridge or, go down that alleyway or, you know, get on the wrong metro, get on, get on the wrong metro, as we did. I remember when we were in Barcelona and, I don't know
Oh yeah.
how many times we got direction and
This is not Bart, huh?
right, and knew where we were going, and I'll be darned if we didn't get on the wrong train. We were going the wrong way, and so we finally just had to stop and laugh at ourselves, get off, get on the right, find the right track, and go the other direction. So I
Yeah.
remember us, just having some gut-wrenching laughing. I thought people were probably looking at what are those women laughing so deeply about? And we were just having us a great laughathon
Yeah,
because
that I think that was one of the best trips that you and I have had. I mean, we've been other places together, but that one was more relaxing, more well-being. We didn't think about, oh, we got to be here such and such a time or
no,
here.
no,
We just like, okay, let's get up, let's go have breakfast,
yeah, yeah,
and then we decide where we go.
yeah. It
It
was
was,
it was really a time of we had to stretch ourselves a bit because um, just getting lost and finding our way back and feeling like, okay, I can't walk another, I can't walk another step, finding us a bench and
well,
just,
that was more me than you because you're a walker. I wasn't a walker. I was like, oh my God, she won't ever stop.
and I think I was probably going, okay, all right, I really need to stop here and catch a little break. But we pushed ourselves, which,
Yeah.
because when we climbed up on that scaffolding on
Oh,
top
that
of
was scary. That was so
the
scary.
that cathedral just to get that view of the city line,
Yeah.
I said to myself right then, maybe we've gone a little too far. Maybe it's time for us to get on off of this thing and go on back to level ground.
And I think not knowing that our hotel, if we just went to the top, we could see the Mediterranean Sea
Yes,
all around. We
yes.
didn't know that till like it was time for us to
It
leave. So
was
it's like
almost time for
we
us
were
to
walking
leave.
around and it's
Yeah,
right here.
right, exactly. All we had to do was go up, on the rooftop where there was a beautiful pool and, a lot of other amenities, and we could see that. But we found it. We found it.
Yeah.
So
And
again,
that made me so happy because I had wanted to do that with my aunt. And we had promised that we would do that, but she
hmm
passed away. And I still got to go because that was one of our things that we were going to do together was go to Spain because, of course, we went to 3 or 4 different places. And I think going to the Moors house or village or whatever they call it was even more inspiring and just like the history
hmm
of wow, this is I may have had an ancestor that came from this, and this
hmm
is what they endured. The
hmm
city within city. So I'm sure that in our audience, people may not know that, but if you get an opportunity, please go and see this fabulous city within city that's in Granada, and it
hmm
is
hmm
it is wonderful. It can give you well, it gave me such a sense of worth
hmm
and well being, and just like wow. So
Yeah. The wonder of
Uh,
travel. It's more than just for fun. I mean, that was just for a lot of things, but it was a wonderful, fun time for us, and we had our share of travel laughs. We really,
yeah, yeah.
we really did. Really, really did. So, oh my goodness, I don't know. Sometimes I look to, you guys all know that, we have now she's an 8-year-old, in our household. And sometimes some of the things she does or says are just absolutely hilarious. One of the more recent things that we've been doing is this game that she's been playing lately. It's called Cows in Space. And it has this headgear that you wear, and you're essentially fishing for cows. And so there's a object not to tip over cows. There's a certain way that you have to fish and catch them and move them over into their pasture. So, but it is one of the dumbest games probably that she has. But it's so much fun, and I cannot play that without cracking up and laughing, because it causes me to look ridiculous. And of course, she just thinks it's the funniest thing ever, as she's instructing me to move this cow and put it over into. So out of 20 games, I think I have a record of like 18-2 or something in her favor. So I'm trying to catch up on cows in space. So if you have an opportunity and you have a little one around, check it out because it definitely will cause you to laugh out aloud.
Just a name by itself will
I
just
know, I know, I know, I know. It's really cute. It's really cute game. Really a cute game. So what else? We got funny movies, we got programs. If you can't think of anything to cause you to laugh out aloud, funny books, just there's so much now, and you don't even have to really look hard because we have the ability to, to search online for, things to make you laugh out aloud. But our whole reason for, again, doing this episode, and it's a pretty short one, is really just to have you think about what is it that makes me laugh out loud. And it could be similar to some of the things that we've shared with you earlier, or it could be something entirely of your making. We just want you to look forward. Just take a break. Take a few seconds, take a few minutes, just take a little bit of a break to laugh out loud. Laugh at yourself, laugh at an observation, laugh at a movie, laugh at a book, whatever it is that gives you that few minutes of laugh sanity. That's what we want you to do with this episode.
yeah. And I think that one of the things that Joanne and I we've talked about, there are so many things that come to mind or just happen that make us laugh that we forget, like the family reunions, the ones where you don't have any trauma, where I was telling her I have brothers, or had brothers, and they have a number of children. And when I was younger, my mother was alive, we would have big dinners, and I go one year and there'd be a set of children, and go another year. I go, who do you belong to? Who do you belong to? Who do you belong to? Because I wouldn't know because there'd be new faces. And I
Yeah,
just laugh because
yeah,
I, I don't have a lot of kids, and to see how difficult it was for mom to feed us, for these people to have 15, 18, 14 kids just blew me away. But
yeah, that would blow you away.
each his own. And I would
Yeah,
sometimes tell the young ladies, I said, didn't you see him coming? I mean, wasn't that a sign that said run, run, run?
yeah, right.
And they would say, "Oh, I just love him." I said, "Oh, okay, that's okay." But that was just a way of me looking at, okay, that's just my family.
Yeah,
Is part of me just feeling good and and knowing what I want, what I don't want, and my will,
Hmm.
which is my worth. Excuse me.
Hmm.
So each is all. I can help when I can help,
Hmm.
and I help when I don't, and I don't help when I don't want to. But um, so part of laughing is built into your well being. That just helps release some of the stress,
Yeah, it
some of
really does.
the acid that comes with people being rude to you,
Hmm.
being just I, I won't say I'll just say rude to you and not recognizing that you are worthy of who you are and what you
Yes,
want to be, and
right.
continue to let that grow. Age doesn't have anything to do with that.
No, it doesn't. No, it really
So you
doesn't.
have to believe in yourself, even though this is just a little part of it. Take it all in, laugh in their face if you want to or not. But it's one more little kind of story for me is I he's passed, and my son, um, I don't know how old he was, but he was like over 300 pounds, 6'4", and I was visiting my mother for some big dinner or something we were having, and he
Hmm.
came into her home, and he came straight to me. This big thing sat in my lap, put his head in my bosom, and
Oh,
start crying. Now
oh
his
no.
wife is sitting on the sofa across the way, and she is laughing her head off. And I'm going like, what the heck? That's not what I said, but what the heck is going on? And he's sitting there crying, crying. At first I said, you get your big butt off my butt off me.
Get
He
off me.
had a special Mustang 5.0 that was very hot on the thief list during
Oh,
that time
I
period.
remember
And
those.
someone had tried to steal it 4 times, and they had gotten it the fourth time.
Oh
When he went to the
no.
CHP lot, all they had was just one piece of it left, chassis or something. They had
Wow.
stole every single piece, doorknob,
Oh,
everything. That was his baby.
wow.
And he was crying, and I couldn't hold it. I wanted to cry for him, but I laughed. I said, "It's a car. It's a thing, but it's my baby." So what did he do? He bought some other high-end car after that. But the fact that he was so big and that he said in my laugh, and his wife was across laughing, I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, I felt sorry for him, but I had to laugh. And then I think about that, and I get chills all over because it's funny as heck. It's so funny, but that's just a memory that continues on and makes me feel
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just gives me a warm feeling, and that I love my child, but a car. But anyway,
Well, we all have those memories. And sometimes, in fact, most times I think we forget about them and forget maybe at the time it's not exactly, the funniest thing, but over time that seems to kind of
yeah,
smooth out the rough edges, and some of the rough memories that went along with, that goes along. But just pull some of those up, pull some of those up. That's free, doesn't cost you anything. You can take a, brief little memory vacation or whatever. Pull some of those up and let those fond memories, those funny things that we have, kind of help, as we were saying earlier, kind of help smooth out some of these chaotic situations that,
yeah,
we're dealing with. You can go back to the news. You can go back to, your favorite programs. I certainly watch enough of them. But think of some things, and that's really about this time. Think of, some things to give you some deep down laughter. In fact, in closing, our Nanaism for this program is from Mark Twain. You guys all know Mark Twain was a very noted and famous writer, humorist, and essayist. And he wrote that the human race has one really effective weapon, and that weapon is laughter. So we can do something no other creatures that we know of yet can do. We can laugh. And all we have to do is think of something funny, access something funny that only to us is laughter. So your action item for from this episode um, is just for you, and it's by you, and it's for you, and it's doing something for yourself to lighten your mood, lift your spirits, or just to put you in a different place and different mindset, if just for a little while. You can decide what works for you. It can be your fun, or it can be some fun that you had with someone else or some other groups, but it is so funny. So just look around. As I said before, you don't have to spend any money. It's free. You can pluck it right from your memory. Do something for yourself just for fun. So we want to thank you for listening in to this podcast. And we know this podcast is not for everybody, but it is for a lot of somebodies. And we just hope you've heard one little thing that reinforces or inspires you to take some action. And remember that action that we want you to take from this episode is do something just for fun. We want to remind you to be grateful for all that you have and all that you've achieved, what you can do instead of what you do not have and what you have not done. Just consider how good our lives really is or are already. Be grateful for every aspect of it, especially for our ancestors and those that have come before us and paved the way for us. We've already given you our Nanaism again from Mark Twain. The human race has one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. So we want to thank you, Dr. Sharla and I,
Thank you so much for joining us.
for tuning in, and ask you to check out our other media, our YouTube, our website, our webpage. Go back and catch up on episodes that you may want to revisit. We ask you to do that. We've got quite a few that are stacking up now. So go back and listen to some of them. And then please subscribe to our program. You can also donate through our website. So until our next episode, we say thank you. Thank you so much for listening in. Dr. Charlotte?
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and we show our gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast, Wise Black Nanas. New programs of Wise Black Nanas are on the 1st and 15th of each month. Listen in as you learn more about Wise Black Nanas, Dr. Sharla Walker and Joanne Early. They are everyday nanas. They are not famous, not celebrities or rich, well, rich in life and its experiences. We want you to come back. Tell your friends. So, look for Wise Black Nanas podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Learn more about them and the coaching services they offer at www.wiseblacknanas.com.